What's up, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Crystal, this is Bond Book Reviews, and today it's time for another round of Pick Pong. If you're new here and you don't know what Pickpong is a game that I play every month to determine what I'm going to read for the month. And it is loose basically on beer pong, except instead of throwing, I bounce into cups. Each cup on the bottom has a prompt, and then I need to fulfill that prompt by reading a book. We're going to do things a little bit differently in 2025. If you would have seen in that previous video, when I did a series reset, I have this many unread series that I'm currently in the middle of. So 2025's main and only goal on this channel is to read series continuations and then decide if I DNF them, if I'm not going to continue the series. That's totally fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick 2 books out of some magical containers that I have down here. One of these will be an ebook because my ebook collection is getting out of hand and it gets forgotten. The other will be an audiobook because the same things happened. I don't look at my physical collection. I don't look at my audiobook and my ebook collection. I look at my physical collection. And so when I do these prompts, I think of those books and not the ones that are on my ebooks and audiobooks. So we're going to do one ebook and one audiobook that has been on my TBR since 2024. So in other words, before the start of this year, it was on my TBR. It's in these bags. So we'll pull out one of each of those that I will have to read in the month. Then we're going to do 4 throws to determine 4 prompts that I will need to complete that will have to be a series continuation of a list or series that was on my list in 2024, aka when I redid the update. So it's going to kind of be like a backlist kind of year for me this year. I'm going to be finishing series that I've started already. I'm going to be reading books that I already had on my TBR. We're going to see how this goes, but this is going to be my year of cleaning things up in my life. I keep getting distracted by new releases and it's just my poor books. They get left behind. So that's what we're going to be doing in the year of 2025. So let's start by pulling out our 2 books, our ebook and our audiobook, and then we'll jump into the throws where I will get 4 prompts, maybe more depending on if I get too many misses, to complete series. So we'll start with our ebooks. Okay, so this is every ebook that is on my Kindle as of this current date. There is lots of random stuff in here from like Stuff Your Kindle days. There was arcs from when I worked at publishers. Oh my God, I don't even know what this is going to be. I don't even know this book. It's Good Girl by Piper Lawson. I'll put the cover up here. I don't even know what this book is. This is why I'm doing this challenge. I thought I would get something that I knew. Okay, so that is our ebook. Now time for our audiobook. Okay, so this is something that I've either been gifted as an advanced listener copy from Libra FM or that I have purchased or received from Audible. I've cancelled my Audible subscription, so some of these I may not have access to anymore. Didn't think about that when I made this choice, but that's okay. If I can't get it from Audible, I'll find it from the library or something and still do this book. Okay, we have The Empire Wars by Annika Phoenix. Again, another book that I just didn't... Covers up here. I don't even recall this author. What is going on with my brain? I did not think I was this kind of person. I thought I knew every book on my collection, like if I heard the title. But maybe it's if I need to see the cover. But anyways, they're the 2 that I have to read in January. So that's going to be an interesting time considering I didn't even know anything about them prior to this challenge. So let's jump on into future me, do the throws, and I will come back and talk to you shortly about which books I'm going to be reading. Welcome to the first throw of 2025. I will say I've done things a little bit differently in that there is no water in these cups. These are brand new floors and I really don't want to get water on them and ruin them. I know that they're meant to be a little water resistant, but still. And I found that I want to challenge myself, and every single time that I see people do my game with no waters in the cups, it always is more difficult. So because I'm in a new setup with the cup's a little closer, I figured I'll make it more difficult by getting rid of the water. We're still gonna bounce in like we did at the end of last year. And if you haven't already seen how it works, the playlist will be linked down below so you can go and check out all the previous videos. But welcome to 2025 Pickpong and wish me luck. As I said in the intro, every single prompt I get will need to be a series continuation that I pick. So we have our two choices that I did at the beginning of an audiobook and an ebook that I will need to read off my Kindle and my Libre.fm or Audible collection. And the next thing we are now finding out is the 4, potentially more, books that I'll need to be reading that are series continuations. So let's get started and get our first prompt. Okay, so our first prompt for 2025 is, if you know me, you know that this is just like a big, of course, ironic. It is a big book. So, of course, I will need to find a series that has a big book that is a series continuation. Fun. Fun, fun, fun. Great. Okay, that one go to the side and let's find prompt 2. Okay, so prompt 2 for 2025 is thrift shop. So this is, I can go to a thrift shop and buy a book that is a series continuation of something that I don't already own, or I can read a book off my shelf that is a series continuation of something that I purchased from a thrift shop. And I have many of my options because my entire collection is pretty much thrift shop purchase. Prompt 3 is TBR Vet. Well, half my series is TBR Vet, so that shouldn't be a problem. And prompt 4 is, of course, our first miss. Prompt 4 again. Okay, so prompt 4 is page number. So we'll do a random page number generator, and then I have to pick a book that is plus or minus 10 pages of that number. What I will do is I will ask Alexa to pick a number between like 250 and 500. No, 250 and 600. I'm going to regret that, but I'll do 250 and 600. So now that we have my 4 prompts, let's go talk about all the books that I'm going to be reading in the month of January. Okay, so I've gone and figured it out. Good Girl by Piper Lawson. This was one of those KU finds. It is a Rockstar meets Nerd series. This is book 1 in the series. Of course, here I am starting a new series when I said I'm meant to be continuing. It is a, nerd meets Rockstar. That's kind of all I know. Spicy romance, as far as I'm aware. It is Stuff a Kindle Day kind of story, so hopefully I'll have a good time with that one. And The Empire Wars by Akana Phoenix is a dystopian YA sci-fi. And it's kind of like survival and magic, and that's all I really know about it. This was a cover selection for me from Libre.fm as one of the advanced listener copies. So this was a 2024 release. It came out in August of 2024. So I'm excited to get to it. The cover is stunning. I've been kind of turning away from YA lately, but YA sci-fi tends to still kind of hook me a little bit. So I'm hoping to have a good time with that. Now let's get into my selections of series continuations. Now I realized the plan is to get this amount of series that I own / have currently in the middle of down. And so I have all these series on this shelf here where I own like 5 or 6 books in the series and I haven't even started it. So I need to start those series and see if they're even worth continuing as well. So technically where I can, I'm going to continue a series, and where I can't, I'm going to start one of those series to see whether I need to actually keep the whole series or not. It's kind of like those try and unhaul challenges everyone's doing at the moment, except mine's like series style. So for big book, I am going to go with Deviate by J. Christoph. This is book 2 in the Lifelike series. I read Lifelike in 2024 and really enjoyed it. It's a dystopian kind of sci-fi YA. As I'm saying, they're the ones kind of still dragging me in. I mean, I don't know if you would call it YA. I think it's probably more on the adult side of things, but it's classified as YA. But I know that J. Christoph kind of gets a lot of issues for being in the YA category, so I don't want to say that and misinform you guys. This one, we're continuing the story where 2 best friends have now found themselves on the opposite side of the war, because that's how kind of like where we ended in the last book. So I'm expecting things to be just as like plot heavy, action packed, tension driven I'm thinking it's going to be a really, really good time. So I'm excited to jump back into this world so soon after starting book 1, because that's the whole point of this, is to continue the series before I forget what even happened in book 1. For thrift shop, I'm going to be doing one of those starting a series to see if I like it. I have both Avery and Thorn, which I both scored from a thrift shop. Which is like a YA dystopian story, which I need to know if I like it. So I'm going to give book 1 a try, see if I like it, and if not, I can throw them both out and make some more room on my shelf. This sounds like the kind of dystopian that I will love. We have a world where if your lover dies, you die too. And it's been like this for thousands of years until we meet Ava and her lover or partner or life mate or whatever they're referred to in this story. Avery is murdered, and she's like, her soul is like split in two, but she doesn't die. Ava doesn't die. And this follows her story. So I don't really even know anything about it. That was enough for me to be invested enough to like find out, why is she so special? What is this world about? Why does your partner die? Why is she breaking the cycle? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just excited to see where this goes. So I'm hoping that I can get through this pretty quickly. I know that there's no audiobook for this, which like scares me, and I think that's why I've been avoiding picking it up. But I've kind of been in my like slow physical reading era at the moment, taking a little bit longer to get through books, and that's okay with me. So we'll give it a shot and see how we go. For TBR Vet, we're going to be continuing the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard with Glass Sword, which is book 2 in this series. I've had this entire series on my shelf since the final one was released, I think. So I like just bought them all and put them on my shelf because I read Red Queen, really enjoyed it, and then I put a whole bunch of them on my wish list, and then someone gifted me almost the whole series, and I've had it sitting there and I haven't continued the series, and I know it's their favorite series, so I kind of need to read it. I remember Red Queen very vividly, so I know that it's okay for me to jump straight into book 2. I don't need to reread book 1, but this story I hear is the worst of the bunch. So I think that's why I've been avoiding it. I don't know why, but a lot of people say book 2 is like, you know how you have books in a series that always suffer from like middle book syndrome? I've heard that this is that. So I hope that that's not the case, but we'll jump in and we'll have a try and see how we go. Now for page number, I did a random number generator between 250 and 600, and we got 394, as you would see from the screenshot here. Now I said that I was going to give or take 10 pages. I'm going to have to give or take 15 pages because the only book that I have that is a series continuation is Wildfire by Hannah Grace, and it is 383 pages. So I had to expand just a little bit to 15 pages instead of 10, just so I could get this on, because nothing else was even remotely close. And I didn't want to just like go start another new series. I ideally wanted at least 3 of the 4 to be a series continuation, which is what I've managed to do. So I'm my game, my rules, and wiggling it. There you have it. That is my backlisty TBR for January 2025. If you're here because of Leandra's TBRathon, you can use any of these prompts or any of these books to fulfill my prompt for the bingo board. However, if none of these work with your TBR, I'm totally happy for you to go back and watch any of my previous PickPongs and use any of those prompts in the past as well, because I'm feeling kind. Anyways, I hope that you have a great January, a great start to 2025. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far and you'd like to be a part of the conversation, you can drop in the comments one of your goals for 2025, how many books you're planning on reading in 2025. If you don't have a goal, or like how many books you want to read and you want to be a part of the conversation, then you can drop a crown emoji in the comments for Glass Sword. Until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!